I just want to get your opinion on this. It, it's something that I don't think is going to work, but CBS has to try something. And they've come up with a harebrained scheme to replace the very funny and talented Charlie Sheen with, on Two and a Half Men, with Aston Kurcher.
I think
Kurcher.
that is a good choice.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a good choice.
You're willing to pay $2 million to Aston Kurcher to take the place of the great Charlie Sheen. Now, this is Charlie Sheen we're talking about. We're talking
Right.
a charismatic guy, a guy who makes you're laughing at him and with him at the same time, and that big payday of $2 million a show. We're giving it to Goofy Kelso.
Well, now the point here is CBS has to save face. They have to save face. They want to stick it to Charlie Sheen. They still had a high-quality #1 show, so they figure, you put him there, it might not be a #1 show, but it's still going to probably be a top 20 show. And you stuck it to Charlie Sheen. Yeah, I think it's a win-win situation for CBS.
Now, how can you say win-win when I have never seen Aston Kurcher on anything that was funny and anything that was talented? This is a boy toy person to go on so the women have something to look at. Talentless, not funny. And you're taking a witty guy who makes things funny to make you laugh, and now you're putting the male mimbo.
Well, I wasn't a big fan of the 70s show, but I've seen it on occasion, and it's pretty funny. I've seen him in some movies, and I think he's pretty funny. I mean, I think it was a good choice.
Are you kidding me? You think that knucklehead is funny?
Yeah. And then, have you ever seen him on MTV Punk'd? Yo, MTV Punk'd. Have you ever seen him on that?
That's not funny. Is there anything funny there?
Oh, that was funny at times.
The show may be funny. The prank might be funny, but he's not funny.
I thought he was funny.
Really?
Once again, he's replacing Charlie Sheen, and I know Charlie Sheen is a fan of the show, and we've corresponded with him, and actually we banned him one time too from the show. And usually when we ban someone, we usually ban him for life, but circumstances came up where we let him back on the show. But anyway, yeah, Charlie Sheen, he's hard to replace, but I think a good choice here. He's not going to be Charlie Sheen, but if you got to do what you got to do, and you want to stick to Charlie Sheen, and you want the show to have some success, it was a good choice.
All I can say is CBS, when Kurcher gets in there, you're going to be hearing a lot of gongs.
All right, what do you think they should have done? You're Mr. Program Director, CBS. What would you have done?
You know what they should have done?
Right.
Sat down with Charlie Sheen, got him some help, talk some sense into him, make sure he's not hyped up on whatever. Sat down with him, worked something out, and I'm quite sure he would have came around. Look, this show only has another year or two of shelf life anyway.
Right, exactly. That's why it's no big deal.
Why switch gears when you had a good thing? It would be like, and I'll just give top of my head, it's like taking give me a hack comedian, Richard Lewis. It would be like replacing Richard Lewis the last 2 years, Seinfeld, taking out Jerry Seinfeld and putting in Richard Lewis and expecting that show to be the same.
Well, if you want to be honest, Seinfeld was starting to run its course. All right, and it was starting to.
You're making my point. It had a 2-year. I said 2 years.
You're right.
Before then.
So.
And put in Richard Lewis. Come on.
But what I'm saying to you is, but it was not the situation. Here they're trying to jam Charlie Sheen. So they're going to, the show might be on the way out, like you said before. Now they're bringing in this guy. They're jamming Charlie Sheen. They're showing, hey, we could do the show without you. And everyone knows probably the show is probably on its way out. It's ran its course.
How is Charlie Sheen being jammed when he was fired?
Because they're showing him, we can do the show without you. We'll do the show without you. We don't need you.
I mean, I'm not getting the point, because, like I said, you put Richard Lewis in the last 2 years of Seinfeld, it was stunk worse than it probably did. No, but Seinfeld the last 2 years still was kind of funny. So,
but if Seinfeld won out, if there was some kind of contract dispute, and you put Richard Lewis in, he was in there for a reason.
Well, see, you're losing me because of this. Whatever